Good morning. Before I start the main part of the video, I'm just asking for prayers for a few people in the community. Um, they watch most all the videos if they're able to, and they comment quite often. And one of them uh, is has a family member that's ill, and it's been a battle off and on for them. I know it's really hard to keep the faith in times like that, and I'm asking us to pray for healing and comfort for them both, and uh, asking that they have the strength to keep the faith. They have the comfort from God to know that He is there with them, and that His will is what will be done, and just know that these prayers uh, can really help. So I appreciate them. And the other one is falling on hard times. They're a hard worker. They got ill. It took a while before they could go back to work. And when they did, they hurt herself and was off again for a long time. And the financial burden was really hard on them. Uh, They're trying to get things together. They're back to work, but getting very little work, and could use as much prayers as possible that they get their life back on track. Like I say, they're a hard worker. They work when they're able to as many hours as possible. Um, where where they work from, only calls them to come in a certain amount, and they have to be available for that. So uh, they, it's not that they won't work or anything like that. It's that their company just doesn't keep them working steady enough right now. And after the medical and all that, they need steady work. And if they had it, they would definitely show up every day. Anyway, I sure appreciate all the prayers and the comfort you can give them, and uh, pray for comfort and strength from God for them, and that He, brings them up out of this in a positive way. So I really appreciate any prayers for them as well. If y'all have any prayers, don't hesitate to put it in the comments, and I'll pray, and Sandy will pray, and our community, if they see it, I'm sure there are some that will pray for you as well. So with that, I'm going to go into the main show. But thank you all for any prayers for these people. Good morning, everybody. I hope y'all having a great day. I thought I'd come on here today and talk a little bit about being judgmental, and how often so many people are judgmental. And you can look at somebody and say, I think they're this way, or I think they're that way. They have tattoos, or they have their clothes ain't real clean, or they they're a certain nationality, or whatever the case may be, and so we get this preconceived notion that maybe, well, because they're this or they're that, they're not a person to be around. Maybe they're homeless, or maybe they're an outlaw or something, Uh, excuse me. Do we have the authority to do that? I don't. That's God's choice and God's judgment. He sees all. I don't. I don't know if I see somebody loaded in tattoos or piercings or both, if they've just come from the food bank helping people, get their groceries to their vehicle so that they can go home and actually have a meal. I don't know if the person in line at the grocery store in front of me that's all decked out in the real nice clothes and real well groomed, if they're short with people, if they're rude, if they're disrespectful, just because they feel they've got more money than somebody else. On the same token, that person that has the piercings and tattoos may just be somebody's brother or sister, or may not be a nice person. I don't know. Same with the person in the grocery store. They may not have a dime, but they dress nice to be appropriate, or um, they may have money. They may be nice, but we don't know if they're um, rude and disrespectful, or if all the groceries they may have in their cart uh, go to some charity, or maybe they know a neighbor that just for whatever reason is in a hard spot and needs a little help. But we get these preconceived notions that somebody's a certain way because they're they look a certain way, and often some of us look at somebody and assume that they're a certain way, or uh, we haven't met them yet, so we don't know anything about them. But we hear a laugh that we think is a little annoying, or we hear them get excited about something, and we think, well, why would you be excited about that? But that maybe it's something they thought they'd never live to see, and it may be something that we think is little, but that person thinks it's huge. To them, it is huge, and we get this preconceived notion that they don't have their priorities right because we see how they look, or how we think they're acting, or the way they dress or carry themselves. We could see somebody that really looks like they need a shower. They really look like they could do their laundry or something. But we don't know if that person's down on their luck and just doesn't have the cash flow at the moment to go to the laundromat and could use a help. And maybe if we just extended a little help, that they might be grateful. Or we don't know if they just come from helping a neighbor build something that they weren't able to do on their own, or helping their community clean up garbage on the side of the road. We don't know sometimes, but we see, and when we see, we assume, and not everybody does it. I know I'm a sinner in progress, is how I hear it from some other people. I'm not perfect by any means, and you know Jesus um, has rescued me in the sense that I have a way to the Father now. And when it comes to looking at somebody, I try my best to not judge them. And sometimes that's hard, very difficult. And I have to remind myself I'm not the judge, God is. And each person will kneel before Him. And that's when they are judged. I don't have that right. I don't have that authority. I should not be trying to judge somebody. So when I look at somebody, like so many of us do, and all of a sudden this preconceived notion pops into my head that, well, they've got this or they look like that, they must be. I have to correct myself and think, wait a minute. I haven't even met this person. I haven't heard what they have to say. I don't know. Um, I don't know anything about them. And they may be the kindest, most gentle, most caring, helping person in the world and look a mess, or vice versa. They may look like the most wonderful person in the world, have a big old smile on their face, and be consumed by the devil. We don't know until we give them a chance. And if we find somebody that maybe is consumed by the devil, what are our choices? Run from them and dislike them, or to pray for them and hope, and just pray and care for them and hope that they accept Jesus Christ in their heart and uh, shed the devil, kick him out, be done with him, and come to God through his Son. So even though we prejudge people, if somebody is a sinner, so are we. And what's the best thing to do for a sinner? Pray and hope they find the Lord. Uh, I don't really know anything else to say about this subject other than I'm not a judge. I don't have that right. It's authority that's way beyond my ability. That goes to the person that knows all, that hears and sees all, that knows our heart, and that's God. I hope y'all have a great day. Goodbye.